Good morning. Hello. It's okay. It's okay? Good. Thank you all coming to this anniversary, and especially Tamao Koyama Sensei. He was supposed to arrive yesterday, but due to the actually the strongest typhoon in Japan this year, hitting Japan, and he couldn't leave yesterday. So we tried to find the alternative route for him to come, and finally there was one seat available, business, Asian airline, and from Itami to Fukuoka, and then Incheon, Seoul, and then Los Angeles. So he left early morning in Misono, he went to Fukuoka, and then Korea, and then finally Los Angeles. He arrived about 2 hours ago, and he is going to arrive here very soon. So can you imagine, such a strenuous trip he had to make? But I'm very, very grateful for Tamao Sensei to come here to bring light from Misono and Meishusama. And so please welcome Tamao Sensei when he arrives. He may look very tired, but don't tell him. I'm so happy, so grateful for his tremendous effort to be with us. And also the Tamao Sensei's brother, Masahide Koyama, he came earlier, Friday, so he was safe. So thank you very much, Masahide-san. And Ichimura Sensei from Misono, and many senseis from Europe, and many friends, and I really appreciate you here, each of you. Your presence make this anniversary very special. It is special. Our official anniversary chanting will start 12 noon. And so prior to that, and I have some messages. I'd like to explain about the theme, expanding our hearts, strength in diversity. I'd like to talk about this. What do you think? How do you interpret this theme? There are many ways to interpret, expand our hearts, strength in diversity. We live in a world made up of different races and cultures. Even within the same culture, there exist people of different religions, incomes, education, political views, ages, diet preferences, sexuality, and so on. Simply put, we exist within diversity. Nature is a perfect example of diversity. It is beautiful, resourceful, regenerative, and resilient. Do you agree? Yes. So far, it's okay. Think of all the colorful flowers, green trees, blue oceans, white clouds, and majestic mountains. Shumei's founder, Meishusama, said, "The nature is God's artwork." How about our society? The society we live in. Is it beautiful and in harmony with its diversity? Not really. We have so much conflict and turmoil in our world. How about your local community? How about your office? How about your home and family? I believe that we can help our world become more harmonious and beautiful by adjusting our minds and attitudes. The problem is that we are trapped by our big egos, rigid dogmas, old-fashioned behaviors, and narrow prejudices. It is up to us to free ourselves from this bondage. Are you ready? I have a suggestion for improvement in 3 areas of our lives. The first, in our relationship with others, and second, in our relationship with our own selves. And then finally, the third, our relationship with the whole. The first, how can we improve our relationship with others? When faced with 2 opposite sides, we humans are conditioned to view this as a conflict in which one must win and the other must lose. We make distinctions between good and evil, and then we project our judgments onto others. But if we look nature closely, we see the opposites are mutually dependent, not fighting each other. They are supporting each other. Light and shadow, mountain and valley, and day and night, and male and female, and large and small, so on. Neither one is right or wrong, nor better or worse. There is no normal or abnormal. Each of us is special. Together, we create a natural balance and an integrated whole. Understanding this principle of the codependency of opposites and non-dualism help us to reduce feelings of hostility towards our opponents, because we begin to recognize their necessity within the larger scheme of things. Do you have enemies at your company? Somebody who are mean to you? Or how about the troublemakers in your family? Let's try to look at things from their perspectives. They have their own justifications for what they do. You can find balance in your relationship with someone difficult if you consider God is keeping him or her alive on this earth for some reason we don't see. So please do not judge. But I know including me, we are judgmental in some degree. We cannot help, right? But try, reduce, and help yourself. Try not judgmental. Because the God is the only one who can distinguish good from evil. So rather than judging and criticizing others, understand that in God's eyes, all of us are just the way we are perfect, just the way we are. Although we can all use some improvement. This understanding of the interconnectedness, codependency, and non-dualism of all things is part of nature's way, in God's way. So I'd like to talk about how we can improve our relationship with our own selves. Can you handle yourself? Are you handling yourself well or out of control? We need to know that our thoughts, emotions, desires, and instincts do not always represent ourselves correctly. They help us to live our lives passionately, but they sometimes drive us crazy, hurt others, and cause us to make wrong decisions. Do you agree? So how can we handle our emotions and the desires and instincts which drive us crazy? One, we must know what is the most important of us. It's not the emotion. It's not our brain. It's not our instinct. What is it? What is the most important of ourselves? I believe it is the divine spirit within us. That's the part we should remember. It is our deepest core, the part of us that is beyond time and space. Buddhists call it the no self because it is formless and impersonal. Hindus call it Atman, the higher self, because it is wiser and more aware than our ordinary mind. Christians and the Jews call it our eternal spirit because it transcends our brief lives here on earth. Some people call it consciousness. How do you call your divine spirit in your religion? Although our divine spirit is quite simple, it is difficult to perceive because our thoughts, desires, and the emotions are always taking control of us. What should we do when we are being dominated by selfish desires, biased thoughts, or uncontrollable emotions? This is what I would do. I would take a deep breath and stand back and then go out from myself and then look at me from outside. And I acknowledge the emotions or thoughts or instincts objectively. Just acknowledge them. But I would tell them Thank you for serving for me, but you are not going to control me. I'm the boss. So you know that. So I let my divine self come out. I remind myself, my inner self. The divine spirit is the core of myself, and divine self is always loving, shining, compassionate, not judgmental, always nice, no matter what, no matter who. It is my inner light. Everybody recommended me to use iPhone. I've been rejecting. I'm the only one maybe on earth using this one. So maybe this is the message. Meishusama says, it's about time. What is it about diversity that is beautiful? When the individual is unrelated to others, there can be conflict, especially if that individual goes against the will of need of the group. However, the individual considers the needs of others and works in harmony with them, then diversity becomes beautiful and creative. By the way, I'm talking about how to improve our relationship with the whole. Okay, we're talking about how we can relate ourselves to the whole. There is an experiment at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. They put hundreds of volunteers into small groups and tasked each group with a problem to solve. They compared the problem of solving the speed between the different groups, and they found two factors that made a group more efficient. What do you think? What are the two factors which made the group more efficient than other groups? They can solve problems quickly. One factor is a high degree of social sensitivity to each other. So within group, they socialize, they communicate to each other. And the second factor is equal time to each person. No one dominated by talking too much. Each person has respected to share their thoughts and ideas. So this is the two factors which makes a group more efficient than others. It's not the IQs or incomes or nice looking. No, it's how they socialize each other. Oh, it works. When there is a social connectedness with each other, ideas flow and grow. We can apply this to our family, company, country, and the world. We need to build a culture that embraces everyone in the group. If each person is respected and motivated to contribute to the whole, the group becomes united and the energy of collaboration strengthens. So, if you want to make your group more productive and happier, pay attention how you can help each person to be respected and they are expected to contribute to the whole. Do not depend on the Superman or clever guy, a beautiful lady. No, pay attention to each one of them, all of them. A good example of a beauty in diversity is art. What makes a work of art beautiful? If the various elements in a painting relate well to each other, as well as to overall composition, there is a beauty. Whereas if the elements are scattered across the canvas in a chaotic way, not only is there a lack of a relationship between them, there is also a lack of beauty. Relationship and harmony are the keys. Let me paraphrase Meishusama's words from his article, God the Artist. It is vital that we avoid trying to impose our own colors on other people, and instead try to make the colors of others brighter and more beautiful. This kind of a policy will align with God's intentions and bring about an ideal world. In conclusion, let us expand our hearts by improving our relationships with others, with our own selves, and the whole. Let us help brighten the colors of others and celebrate the strengths in diversity. Thank you very much.